Yo, what's up guys? It's Boltsy's VFX. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to edit like this. The three things I will be showing you in this first tutorial are text, mask burst, and transitions. More tutorials will be coming out soon, so make sure to follow and keep an eye out for them. I'll be having a full editing course with in-depth guides that are easy to follow out soon. One thing to mention is thank you guys so much for the recent support on my videos. I truly do appreciate you all. I want to make this into a career and help others. So let's go ahead and get into this tutorial. One thing to mention, this is the PC version of Capcut, but you still should be able to follow along with me if you know where things are on mobile. If you guys need extra help, I can make a mobile version to help, but the process is still the same. Okay, first up obviously is getting your clips that you want to use and then your song as well. So I'm going to go ahead and drag the song in. You want to go ahead and go over to text. You want to go ahead and drag this on top of your clip. Okay, so I want to mention you do not have to put the same text as me or anything. This is about Demon Slayer. I'm going to put the Hashiras. So you could put whatever text you want, but I'm just going to be showing you the text layering. Okay, so once you have your text in there, obviously it looks like this. What you want to do is you want to come over here and you want to find a font that is like bolder. Yeah, I'll probably use Resolve here. Usually what I do is I turn the characters up and then drag it down. Also, one more thing to mention is that you want to drag this clip up to the next layer so it's off this, because every time, say if I was to cut this right here and then drag it down here, it's always going to go to the front no matter what I do. It's always going to go to the front over here, and you don't want that. So I Control Z all of that and you just bring it up one layer. So now I'm going to be showing you guys how to get the transparent effect like I showed. You can go ahead and grab your text, pull it under, click on your clip, go to video mode, and then multiply. You go to your text layer, you go to effects right here in this tab, and then you choose one of these. You can really choose whatever you want. It's up to you completely. It also depends on like the way your clips look. Okay, I just realized something after I finished this part. I never mentioned this, but you can go into here, right click on that, create compound clip. This is only for PC. This is a little bit different. You have to export it on mobile and then put it back into your timeline after you export it. So what you want to do is you want to create a compound clip and then double click to go inside of it, and then you can also add effects here, which is what I'm about to show you guys. You type in glow and effects, you can put glow 2, or if you're using a free version you can find a free glow and that'll work just as well. But you can go to mask, you can bring this over to film strip, and then you can turn it 90 degrees, reduce this, put it all the way to the left, turn on mask settings, and then you can go feather to like 50. You could do 100 if the clip's like really dark. As you can see, it still has this like weird glowing thing going across it, so we don't want that. So I'm gonna go back to here, I'm gonna go to feather 100, and I'm gonna put this one to the end, and make sure feather 100 is on this one as well. And now it has a nice shining glow on it. It doesn't really show that well on here because it's a darker clip. After you have your text how you want it, you just want to go into compound clip, and then you can add animations going in or out. But this is how I do my text and all that. You can do them different ways, you just got to be creative. So that's how I do my text, and you can go back out by clicking that. And then now we're going to move on to masking. I'm going to drag these over to my other one. I'm going to turn the volume off on them, and this song is like really fast. I'll go ahead and show you guys that. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to do masking increments of 3, because this song is super fast and these are big beats, so those don't even matter right now. Those are going to be transitions where you go to the next clip. So on this one, I actually want to go ahead and grab it, and then this is where the clip's going to actually end the full entire clip. So what I want to do is I want to go here, and I also want to go to the beginning of this clip, go 1 2 3 frames forward, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Just make sure it's on beat. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag this over to this first beat right here. This is where it starts, and that seems pretty good. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put this one that you want to mask over your first clip, so it's like into a transition clip. So I'm gonna put this over here, and then I'm gonna drag this out a little bit to the next one. You want to go ahead and keep on the bottom because it doesn't really matter. You want to drag each clip up here and then drag them out all the way to the end, except for the last one obviously because it's already at the end. So now what what you want to do from here is I want to remove background, grab your custom removal and video and remove background, and then go ahead and start masking these. It does not have to be absolutely perfect because I will show you a trick that you can do. You can add feather and it looks like it blends in a little bit more, and you can expand it if you need, just to whatever you like. So that's already one done. Now you can go to the second clip, and there is a bug with Capcut in general on PC and mobile, I've heard, that you can't mask on the first frame, and that is true. Go ahead and go here, the next frame. It will still get the first frame, but repeat the process on every single beat. You're going to want to do this. Boom, repeat the process. Okay, so once you have your masking done, it's going to kind of look something like this. Okay, so what I would do is go to this clip, and then I would also put a blur in. And also, again, you can use different animations. It doesn't matter. You can use whatever you'd like. Okay, so that's your masking done, but I am going to show you how to do a different form of masking here. And then you can go to mask. You can use the pen for squares and stuff like that. But out, feather, 40, and that one's cropped out. The same for the next one. Some will be easier than others, some will be harder. This is just another way to mask, and this is one that I use a lot, and it looks similar to this. Okay, so that's masking done. Now here goes your mask transition that will help you. Okay, so one more thing I want to mention about masking that I did not mention yet is you can go to basic, and then you can move these around, these tiles. All right, so now we're going to talk about mask transitioning. So what you want to do is you want to grab all of these and then press Alt G, which is create compound clip. It's this one right here. So it's the same thing we did earlier with this. So what we are going to do from here is we are going to figure out what would look good here. A zoom in could look good here because you're zooming into the next clip. So you want to go to combo, and then you can use zoom 2, you can use zoom 1, this into a compound clip as well. And then you could put another animation on it, like zoom 2, for example, and it will zoom it back out after you just zoomed in. I'm going to show you guys how to make it look cleaner. This isn't what, and you could change the speed to how you like it. I'm going to play it real quick for you guys and show you what it does. See, it adds a little bit of shape to it, so it looks like it's never stopping moving, if that makes sense. So that's how I do my text masking burst and transitions. If you guys need another tutorial on how I do a specific thing, then send me a comment. Also, this is my first tutorial. If I need to work on anything and fix it, then just let me know and I will make things more clear for you guys. But it's been Boltsy's BFX, and peace out, guys. Yo, what's up, guys? It's Boltsy's BFX. Today I'm going to be showing you guys another tutorial. This time you guys will be learning how to get clips for your edits, remove backgrounds for free and for pro users. Last but not least, overlays. I will be showing you guys a ton of tips to help you, so make sure you watch the whole thing. And here I will give you guys the timestamps for each section. Before that, I want to mention I just opened my new Discord server where it's built to help editors. You can ask the community for your opinions and help, and watch me edit live and voice chat and ask questions for more help. And you can also promote your posts and edits for opinions or extra views. Also, my editing pack is now released for $10. You can get all my 4K clips, overlays, backgrounds, and sound effects. The link to the editing pack is in my server here. And here goes my Discord server link if anybody wants to join the community. Alright, so first, guys, we're going to go ahead and get into tips. So tip number 1 is you're going to come over here to modify. You're going to type in your project name. I'm going to name this one tutorial. You're going to come over here to resolution, and then you're going to type in 3840 by 2160. If you're on phone, you're going to want to go 2160 by 3840 and use that. So I'm going to go back to this, and you want to use 60 FPS for mass burst style. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. Okay, guys, so tip number 2, you're going to want to come over here to menu, and then you're going to go to help, and then shortcuts is right here. Here's all the shortcuts that you can use to make your stuff better. You can go to split mode, which I don't recommend this. I recommend just using this one. So like I press Control B every single time I need to split a clip. There's a lot of useful ones in here, and I would recommend going through them and then changing them to what you want. Okay, so for this next tip, you're going to want to go to menu. We're going to go ahead and change the settings. You're going to want to make sure you go to edit, and then frame rate is the same as your project. These really don't matter too much, but I set it to 1 frame. You want to go to performance. Make sure these are turned on. Please make sure these are turned on. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and show you this tip with the folders. You can go and go to import, and you can import individual files, or you can just import folders. So like I can import one of these right now. So let's double click on it. I'm going to show you guys this one as well as a little bonus tip. You can go over here and turn this off. If you don't, then it's going to keep going like this every single time. But when you turn it off, you can move it like this. Last tip, you're going to want to go over here to filters. People have been begging me for my quality settings, and this is all you have to do. You're going to have to go over to filters. You're going to type in 4K. Drag this on, drag it all the way out, the end of your whole entire edit, put it on 50%. You're gonna wanna come over here. You're gonna wanna go to pale mist, type in pale mist and filters up here. You wanna put this to 30. You could tell it already looks a lot better than before. And then you're going to want to go to Moody Fall. And you're going to want to put this above Pale Mist. Yes, the layering does change it. I'm going to put this to 20. The layering does change this. So I would make sure it's in this order right here. That's my quality settings. I put this over my whole entire track of edit. All right, guys. So now we're going to get into how to get your clips for your edits and things like that. We're going to go over these 4 sites up here. This one is animetwixter.com. These have a lot of good ones as well. Okay, so here we are with High Twixter. This is another really good site for clips. You can type them in, whatever you're looking for, say Naruto. You can get Twixter clips from Naruto. Most of these are 1080p, so I would try to find some with 4K. Okay, so now we're here on ringwiththetwixter.com. You can go ahead and get a lot of clips from here from all different kinds, and they're all 4K usually. So this is a very great site to go to. All right, so here we are on the last one, Anime Clips Raw. This is also a very good site, and I recommend you getting them. For beginners, you can get these off these sites, but honestly, when you get more advanced, you should probably just make your own, which is really difficult. But I can show you guys how to make those in a future tutorial if you guys want that. And this is going to be how I get my clips. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and get into backgrounds on how to remove the background of characters. So I found this really good clip right here, and I'm going to go ahead and split it. I'm going to drag these out to the right in case I want to use those again. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go ahead and find the song that I want to use. So I'm going to go over here to music, and I'm going to go to, I wanted to use this one. I'm going to find the start, and we're actually going to use this part for the example. So I'm going to go right here, because if you listen to it, I'll just go ahead and play it. Obviously, that's a pretty good spot for mass bursting and removing a bunch of backgrounds and putting stuff behind people. Okay, so first up, I'm going to show you guys how to do this for free. And yes, it is 10 times better to do this in Pro. So I would recommend just biting the bullet and getting Pro or using the free trial. You're going to have to go to brush, and you're going to have to change the size for bigger things like this. So if I'm drawing inside of him, I'm going to put a larger brush. And if I'm drawing on the outside of him, say right over here, I'm going to use a smaller brush for all the outline of the character. It is very annoying, and it's going to take a lot longer to mask things, but this is the best way to do it for free. I'm going to go ahead and start the time lapse for you guys and finish this. So as you guys can see, the mask is not perfect, but there is a workaround that you can do to make it look a little bit nicer. So I'm gonna go ahead and press apply on this, and then you're gonna put feather on. So you're gonna put feather to about 20, and you can also de-expand this, and it'll make it look a bit better. But honestly, I would just go for Pro because it looks a lot better. You could do your mask a lot more and spend more time on it, but this is how you remove backgrounds without Pro. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys the Pro version on how to mask. You're going to go up to here, and you're going to want to go ahead and get rid of this by pressing Alt and then going over everything. If you press Alt, have the delete one instead of the brush. Okay, so now I'm on brush, and all I have to do is this and go like that. It's much easier on Pro, and for now this actually should be okay. It looks pretty good so far. So now you press this, and then if you want to keep feather on, you can. See, 30 feather looks perfectly fine, and barely anybody would be able to notice this. Okay, so after you have your character masked out, you have all your beats right here. You're going to want to mark each one. I showed you guys how to set the shortcuts before. Now here is the markers. So now you're going to want to press M for me and mark all your beats. And this is the ending beat, so I'm going to go ahead and delete all of that. Here goes your beats, all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and go to all my editing files. This is my editing pack right here. So it has a ton of stuff. It has like over 400 backgrounds and overlays. I'm going to go ahead and go to overlays and backgrounds, overlays, backgrounds. I'm just going to put some behind them. This is how it's going to look. I'm going to split this, delete that, split this, delete that, split this, delete that. It does not have to be space or anything like that. This is just what I'm using for the tutorial to explain it. I'm just putting stuff behind people. You can readjust these if you need to. You can put them bigger, lower, whatever you want. Now you have something that looks like this. Okay, so guys, once you have your background set and everything, what you could do is you can go drag over all of these clips. You can go over here to adjust and then turn the temperature down and the saturation down and then the exposure up. And you can mess around with this and use your own settings depending on the feather and the background of your removal. So also what you can do is control copy your main clip and then press Control V to duplicate it. And then you're going to go over here to effects and type in glow. And I want to go to glow 2 and drag it on the bottom one. And then you want to drag it twice or 3 times even if you want. So that is backgrounds. All right, so now we're on to overlays, and I'm going to go ahead and remove the custom removal on the background for this one. Just the bottom one. Do not mess with the top one. Okay, you're going to want to go here. You're going to want to turn this off. And now you can add your overlays and everything. You can put them right under this one. This works for any overlay, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and turn the speed up on this one to like 5. And go right here. Say I wanted it to be behind him, but also in the same shot. You want to go over to basic. You're going to come over here to mode and then either use screen or brighten. And what that's going to do is it's going to add it behind him. Say I wanted to add glass in the background as well. We're going to go to where the glass first breaks. It's like right here. And then we are going to speed it up to 2 times. You're going to come here and delete all of that. And that looks pretty good so far. So you want to go to the same spot and press screen or brighten, whichever one looks better for your clip. So screen looks pretty good here. And what I'm going to go do is go to adjust. I'm going to go to saturation, turn that down and make it fit the clip a little bit better. So if I want to go for a brighter one, I'm going to use orange, and that's how you add an effect behind them. And if you want to add more effects, you can add more effects. For this one, I'm probably just going to go a little bit smaller on effects. So I'm going to add this. So now it looks kind of something like this. And I don't think that part looks good, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to adjust and do the same thing for this one. I'm going to change it to the oranger color and put the exposure up. So that looks pretty good. And this is how you do overlays. And it's the same concept as removing the backgrounds on the other ones and then putting stuff behind it, but a little bit more steps. All right, so now that we're done with the tutorial, I'm going to thank everybody for hitting 9K on TikTok. That's crazy to me. Let's see if we can hit 10K and everybody drop a follow on YouTube and TikTok. I love you guys so much and have a great day. All right, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to properly sync your clips and sync your text to lyrics with 3D camera and Capcut. So let's go ahead and get into it. Before we get into the video, I want to mention my Discord server is available to join here. I have an editing pack that will save you guys tons of hours while you're editing. For more info on the packing you'll hear in my server, you can ask people for your opinions and help for editing and a lot more cool stuff. Link will also be in the description to join. Love you guys and thank you guys all for the support. All right, first off, getting into this tutorial, I want to mention this is the editing pack that I mentioned before in the intro of the video. It has a ton of 4K clips that you can use. This just speeds up the process of your editing. So you can grab 4K clips from here, from like say Demon Slayer. Here you have a mix of everything. So we have overlays and backgrounds here, and then we have sound effects that you can grab out of here. You can come here. There's more overlays and backgrounds here with particles, shockwaves, and then we have a text pack here that you can download and then install the fonts. All right, so now we're actually getting into the tutorial part. I'm gonna go into my editing pack. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some clips from here. I also have previous tutorials if you want to watch them on how to get clips for yourself. You can go here and I'm gonna go to Demon Slayer and I'm going to say this dragon, bring Goku. I know you can go over here to this part and turn off the main track magnet. I still don't like editing on this bottom part, so I'm gonna go and drag this up top because I just think it's a more better experience for editing. So I'm going to go find where I want to start the edit, which would be here. For my example, you could start it anywhere. I'm going to start it here. I want the full sort out animation here. So the end is right here. I'm going to go ahead and split this with Control B, and I'm going to drag this out to the right because we don't need that right now. I'm going to go ahead and drag in a song from my editing pack as well. I wanted to mention for the next 2 days, you'll also get a music folder and also sound effects folders for my edits. Okay guys, so I'm going to go and drag my song in here. I have the song right here, and I know it starts like somewhere around here. So let me see this real quick. Yep, starts right here, that little beat right here, and I'm gonna drag this over. I actually want this to start about 2 seconds in, I'd say, or I'm actually going to drag this out because this is where it starts the build up. So I actually want to start it here, so I'm gonna drag this over here and then replay it. And I'm gonna go ahead and mark my beat here. Make sure you're clicked on the timeline when you mark your beat. I made a mistake there. So now what you want to do is you want to come up here and click your clip and then go over here to speed, and you want to match it to where your marker is. So mine is 312. Yours could be different depending on your song, depending on where you're starting. Okay, so now that you have your clip synced to the beat here, it looks like this. For example, now that I ended there, I want to go over and grab a new clip. So for example, I'm going to get this one because he just pulled out his sword. It kind of makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and press Control B to split. I'm going to drag this over. I'm going to go ahead and find the next beat where the clip should start, or end, I should say, sorry. Let me play it. So it's right around here, and you can hold Control and then scroll wheel in to zoom into your timeline. You can also do this here. You can move around with Alt and scroll like this, and then you can also do scroll wheel up and down to move up and down while you're previewing. Let me go over here, and then we are going to go to that next beat. Okay, for example, the beat is right here. So I want to end this clip where he is getting fully cut. So I'm going to find out my speed. So the speed adjust to here. Sometimes it'll look really weird and fast, so you can cut it earlier or start it later. It just depends on how you want it to look. Now we have this. So we already have this done. The syncing is already looking pretty good. Obviously, you would have to add stuff. For example, here you could add like beat shakes or things like that nature, and I can make a tutorial on that if you guys want to see that. Just let me know in the comments. Okay guys, so now that you have your two clips synced, you're gonna come over here and you're gonna go to the second clip, right? And this is a little tip for any slashing motion, impact motion, anything like that. You can come to effects, and then you're gonna want to drag this over yours so you get keyframes. If you drag them on, for some reason you don't get keyframes, so never drag them on in my personal opinion. But I would come drag them over, and you can just compound clip them when you're done. So I'm gonna keyframe the strength here, and you can mess around with it however you like, but I'm gonna keep it at 45 here. And then I'm just going to go over here to the end. I'm going to change the strength to 0. I'm also going to choose filters and then change it to 0. And then I'm going to come back over here and change the filters to 100. Now it kind of looks something like that. It's a bleeding motion. And this just adds a cool effect. You can add like shake on top of this and things like that. So it looks like this now. So it adds like a little color fade, if that makes sense. Now if I wanted to add something like Astral 2 or like, you know, Astral camera shake, like shakes and things like that, I'm gonna put Astral 2 just for the sake of things. I'm gonna go ahead and bring it over here, and then I'm gonna put the strength down because it's going to be very harsh, and I'm going to put the speed to about 20, and then I'm going to take the strength to about 30. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to transform the details, and I'm going to come about 10 frames forward. I mean, roughly, it doesn't have to be exact, but I'll go about 10 frames forward for this one. I'm going to place another marker. I'm going to put the speed down and the strength all the way down. So for both of these, it's going to start really heavy, and then it's going to stop. So it's going to look like this. Now, if you want it to be stronger, you can. So if I put the speed up to 75 and the strength up to 70, it's going to look like this now. And if you want things like twisting motions and things like that, and like atmosphere changes, you can do that. And if you want it to be even stronger, you can make it even stronger. Okay, so now that we're done with the tutorial, I really want to thank everybody for 14K on TikTok and then 1K on YouTube. That is absolutely insane to me, and I love the way that we're growing. I just want to help people. So if everybody wants to join the Discord server, remember, I put it at the beginning of the video and it'll be in the descriptions of my TikTok and YouTube. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I really do appreciate it. I love all of you guys. Thank you so much. Bolsies out. Alright, what's up guys, it's Bolsies. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do 3D camera text in Capcut. Before that, I want to mention though, we just hit 1,000 members in my editing server. If you all would like to join, I'll put the link up here. I have an editing pack that will save you guys hours or even days of editing. The link for that is right here. Thank you all for 17K on TikTok and 2K on YouTube and 1,000 members in the server. I love you all, and let's get into this tutorial. Alright guys, now we have the text here, so it's going to look like this.
I'm fortunate enough to be loved.
So we have this part done. Now what I'm going to do is, if I wanted them to overlap, we'll be on the same panel, for example. I'm going to go like this, drag them all out above one layer, and drag them all out. So now it looks like this.
I'm fortunate enough to be loved.
So now they're all in the same layer and they're still there. First off, what I want to do is I'm going to come over here to player 3. And then I'm going to drag this on, but we're going to actually take that out for a minute. What I want to do is I want to put these where I want them before I add player 3. So I want to put this one, for example, right here. And then this one, for example, right here. And I'm going to actually center this one a little bit more. Come here to enough. I'm going to put this one on the sand. And then I'm going to put 2B on the right and loved right under it. Like this. So for example, this is going to look a lot different when I'm done, but I want to drag over all of them. I want to go here. I want to grab resolve. Should be resolve in the fonts, and then I'm going to put the character spacing to 3 and then dragged all over them, right? I'm going to go like this and readjust all of them, make them smaller. After, you can adjust them again if you want to. So what I want to do is I'm going to come over here and readjust these as well. Go like that. Let's be readjusted a little more. Readjust this one some more too. This one as well. To be a little bit further than there. So it kind of looks like this, right?
I'm fortunate enough to be loved.
So now we can get into player 3. So what I'm going to do is, since these two are together, right, I'm going to put player 3 over both of them. And I'm going to go like this. And I'm actually going to drag it out backwards a little bit more actually. And probably about right there is fine. I'm going to go ahead and turn the texture off, because it gets rid of the music is playing up there, so we don't need that. Now what you're going to do is you're going to select all 3 of these. Then you're going to create a compound clip. You can press Alt-G on your keyboard. What you're going to do is go ahead and split the beginning right there so it fits the clip, and then now it doesn't have the fade in, so now it just comes in immediately, which is what you want. Now you can change the speed of these things. You can do really whatever you want. If you wanted to, I would personally turn these to rotate and make them a little bit bigger depending on how you want them to look. And I would change the glow a little bit. So now it looks a little something like, oh, if this happens right here, all you have to do is go in here and go to one of this, for example, go over to the right, and then also drag this one to the right. But for example, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to shorten the size right over here. By the way, you can keyframe these things if you want to move. So for example, if I was to keyframe the beginning over here and click rotate, and then go over here and then click rotate again on the beginning and end. So this one's going to be like 50, for example, right? And then this one will be 70. So now it'll move through the video. You can adjust keyframes and things like that. But what I would recommend, if you were to do the moving ones like that, after you're done with it, go to click on your clip and then come over here to video and then find motion blur and put this on and then change it to like 30% roughly. And then also put this on to both. Make sure it's on both. So it kind of looks like this.
I'm fortunate enough to be loved.
It looks a lot smoother when it's moving. So I'm going to actually change this a little bit more, and I'm going to make the text look a little bit better. So I'm going to come here, shorten them a bit, put them up there on top of the building. Now it kind of looks like that. Now you do the same exact thing for the next ones. Or if you want to change it, say for example, enough is like a kind of bigger word, so, and it's also by itself, so, and it's in the middle. I'm gonna do this instead. I'm going to go here, and then I'm actually going to cut it right here on this, and I'm going to go delete that, we're going to click on this, click add mask text, and we're going to put cancel. Not bad. We're going to do, so it's going to look something like this. You could do this with other different ones. For example, by the way, all you would have to do is do this to get your clip to show again. Turn on auto snapping. Right here, all you'd have to do is go like that and then turn off the mask and then put this one above it. And now if you were to put something like player 3 on it, then it would show, but it's not showing right now. Well, for example, if I was to put player 3 on it like that, you could see it right there. It's not very bright, but you'd have to change the settings. So you can go to adjust, change the temperatures, and it'll pop up. It'll show up and all that. You don't even have to use multiply or anything like that. But say if you want to use the different one, for example, you go here, drag that back to where it was. And say I wanted something out of my backgrounds, right? And you want to like a moving one. Let me throw this on here, right here. Now what we can do, come over here, delete this. And we can also do the same thing that we just did before on this one instead. My texts aren't, well, that's probably why. Now we can go to text and then type in enough. If I could type. All right, we're in enough. And you have something like that now. And you can change the character spacing here as well. And then you can go to adjust and you can adjust the stuff that you want. So I'm not going to take that off. Then we can change the colors of things as well, especially with exposure and contrast and things like that. It really changes the look of everything. So that's how you make custom text. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a simple glow. So I'm going to actually go back, Control Z everything that we've done before. So we're back here and we have enough back and our splits aren't there anymore. So what we're going to do is I'm going to come up here to glow. I'm going to go ahead and create a compound clip for enough by itself. And then we're going to put, you can type in glow. You can find a whole bunch of different effects that you can do. Put like glow on it and make it look like this. You could do things like hollow scan. Type in hollow scan. You can put hollow scan on it and it makes it kind of look like that. You can change the atmosphere to take it down, change the speed, and now it looks like this.
Enough to be loved.
Gives a little blue glow. But honestly, if you're doing a white text, and I should mention this, if you're doing white text, it's not, the effects aren't going to show up as well. But if you do like red text, for example, you can see the blue a lot better on the effect.
Enough to be loved.
And you could just play around with the effects and all that and change them around. Obviously that doesn't look good, but you could just play around with them. That's the best way to learn, honestly. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to type in player 3. And we're going to do the same exact thing we did with these for the top ones. So I'm going to come here. What you want to, you could also do this and go really far in, but I recommend going right there. But it's okay, whichever one you want to do. Compound clip them together, split it right there. And then now we can go in and we can change these to this way. So probably like 25 would be okay. And then you can also change the horizontal and stuff like that, but I would be careful because it does do like tiles and you don't want that. So, but you can change them vertically. That looks pretty good when you can change them vertically. And we are going to go out and see how it looks so far. So it obviously needs to be repositioned. So we're going to put it, I want the V to be in the middle of this wood spot. So that looks actually pretty decent for just a tutorial. Now I want to move enough over and down a little bit. So right here, you have your 3D camera, both your 3D camera text and a custom text right here. But if you want to make them look better, that's all about effects, adding other effects, which you can just play around with. A very good tab you can look in is new. And then also you can look in light right here. Light is very good for this type of stuff as well, because it has effects like spectrum scan. It has a lot of things and it looks kind of like it does it. Like I said, the blue doesn't show as well on white, so you'd have to change the color of these. So I'm also going to show you guys real quick how to change the colors of these, and these actually need to be moved over a slight bit, just a tiny bit, but you can change the colors of each individual one. So if I wanted to turn loved to red, all you do is click on the loved and change it to red. And for example, if I wanted to change fortunate to something brighter, it's a bright word, I could put it to like green, so it looks like this. And now the full thing looks like this. It's probably not going to be amazing, but You get the gist.
I'm fortunate enough to be loved.
And then all you'd have to do is say we were over here, right? All you'd have to do is grab all of them and then drag them back over to the left. And then you're good. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and let me know what else you guys want to see from tutorials, and I will go ahead and get to them. Thank you guys, and peace out. Love you all. Do you guys want high quality like this? Well, today we are going to be doing a Capcut tutorial for the highest quality and best visual settings. I will leave timestamps up here if you are interested in anything particular. If you guys want to see more things like this, be sure to follow me on TikTok and YouTube. I will also be doing multi-content from now on, so if games, funny moments, highlights, or playthroughs or more your style, it will be coming very soon. Before we hop into the video, I want to announce that I am now streaming on Twitch, as well as we are going to be doing a lot of stuff on streams with the community, like games and other activities. So make sure to stop by and see if you want to join the community. Also, here's my Discord community server where we'll be holding tournaments, fun events, and you get the chance to talk to me and my staff personally. We all truly love you guys and appreciate the support recently, and thank you guys so much for everything. Alright, so now guys, we're going to go and show you the quality settings in Capcut. What you're going to want to do first off is come over here to filters in your top tab if you're on PC, but you can also do this on mobile. There's a ton of tutorials, and I can make a mobile tutorial if you need. So you're going to come over here, you're going to add the 4K filter on top, and we're going to come over here and drag it to about 50%. This could be anywhere from like 40 to 60%. I just keep it more up there. I'm going to come to pale mist because that's what I like using, and I'm going to drag it to about 30. This could be anywhere from like 20 to 40%. This is up to you and how you want it to look. You can get like something like humble, but I'm going to come down here and I'm gonna get one. We're gonna go black gold, and I'm gonna grab this one, the one with the tower, and I'm gonna go right here, put it to about 30. This can be whatever you want as well. Just preview it and see what intensity you want on each one. It like drowns out colors and like makes things nice. Now I'm gonna add glow. Type in glow, then we're gonna use a glowing one, so maybe like this one, and then put it to like 20% because I don't want too much overall glow on it. So now it looks like this, but first off, I'm going to show you what it looks like before you do those filter settings. So here's what it looks like. Next up, what you're going to want to do is click on your timeline. You're going to come over here to modify. We're going to go ahead and put our name in for whatever we're doing. Say it be an edit or tutorial, whatever you want it to be. I'm going to come over here to custom. I'm going to type in 3840 by 2160. This is going to change your quality settings from 1920 by 1080 to 4K. What we're going to do is go ahead and click save on that. After you've typed in your resolutions, click save, and then we're going to come over here and preview it again, and it's going to look different. It's going to look a lot more crisp and a lot more smooth. You're also going to see that 4K filter in action a little bit more. Okay, so now that you've seen it with all of the quality settings on that part, is I'm going to come over here and grab all of these clips, right? And I am going to press Alt-G on my keyboard. I'm going to come over here to reduce image noise. I'm going to click on this. This one is for pro users, so if you're not pro, you won't have this part, but it does help a lot. I'm going to put it from weak to strong on the level. So I'm going to click on this and then turn it to strong. Basically what this does is just increase your quality, but I'm going to put mine to around 30 to 40. So I'm going to try 40, and then you want the direction to be both and the speed to be once. So next up, we're going to come over here to, while this obviously renders, I'm going to come over here to menu. I'm going to go to settings, and then we're going to make sure our settings are correct. Actually, this is supposed to be on no limit, so I'm going to go and change that. It's on me. You have custom stuff where you can put like different things. You put your drafts in different folders and screen recordings, which is like, I don't use this, but some people might like to use recordings for their in-game or in-app experience for Capcut, where you can screen record here. But I'm gonna go and come over to edit, and you want to make sure that you're on step forward or back many 1 frame always, because if not, you're not going to be moving 1 frame forward. Things are going to look really weird. You're going to want to make sure that play audio while scrubbing is off. You can basically just copy my settings here. I would also make sure that this matches the frame rate of whatever you put on modify. Just keep that in mind. Then once you come over here to performance, performance, you're going to want to make sure the most important thing that you've done is put these two on. It's going to make everything run so much smoother. This one is also super important. Please put this on. So if you don't have any of these on, please just change your settings to these. It's going to help you a lot, especially if you're on a laptop, and these don't really matter. So you can go ahead and click save. Now your editing experience should be a lot better, especially with the 1 frames. Now you can move 1 frame every single time instead of moving 5 frames forward at a time. So now that the motion blur is also done, now we can preview our clip. I'll go ahead and show you guys my export settings for the best quality. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to put this export path to wherever you want it to be, and you're going to come over here and click video, and you're going to put resolution to 4K. Do not put this to 8K because TikTok doesn't let you render to 8K, and sometimes this doesn't let you render other things in a 8K, and it's not that great on YouTube. So I'm going to come over here to bitrate now, and I'm going to put higher bitrate, and then we're going to come over here to this one right here. We're going to use H264. You're going to want to use this one because it is the best quality for what you're rendering. So I'm going to come over here and make sure this frame rate also matches what you put in your modify settings, and this is completely up to you. You can test this out. Optical flow is okay on some things and some things it's not. It just depends on what you're working on. So I would use this if you're slowing down a lot of clips. Just make sure it has a lot of optical flow, so it's like clean movement, clean slow-mos. I'm also going to come over here to audio. You can use MP3 or AAC. I would not use WAV or FLAC. So either one of these will work. You can also edit your cover over here, but I can go over that in another video if you guys need me to. For now, we're just going to go over the video export settings. So I'm going to go ahead and export it, and then I'll go ahead and show you guys the preview here in a second.